Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane wants Western Cape Premier Helen Zille to be held accountable for her colonialism tweet. Now, as part of her recommendations, Mkhwebane says the Western Cape legislature should take action. She says the tweet violated the Executive Ethics Code. Zille sparked an outcry when she praised colonialism, saying its legacy, was not only negative. Well, Mkhwebane joins us now from our Pretoria studios. Good evening, Advocate. Thanks very much for joining us this evening. Well, you are saying that her tweets gave rise to constitutional and statutory infringements. Unpack that for us, please.
Okay, good evening, Vuyo, and good evening to your listeners. Yes, the tweet of the Premier has violated the constitutional violations relate to blacks and people who were oppressed and people who were affected by colonialism, especially their right to dignity. And further, the statutory violations relate to the Executive Members Ethics Act. The Act is very clear that the Public Protector, when I receive the complaint from any member of the legislature, I must investigate. I don't have a discretion not to investigate. And that legislation requires the members of the executive to behave or to lead the country in a very respectable and a certain behavior. So you cannot be the premier of the province and continue to issue such tweets and give an excuse that it's within your right or, in fact, the freedom of expression. So that violates the rights of others. I mean, the freedom of expression or that particular section is very clear that whatever a person or who's exercising their freedom of expression, that expression shouldn't violate other people's rights, especially rights to dignity, or that tweet shouldn't or lead to issues which perpetuates violence or perpetuates issues relating to instability in the country.
Says she'll most likely take your report on judicial review because she finds your decision to be unlawful and irrational.
Yes, Vuyo, I'm aware about that because even when she was responding to the Section 7(9) notice, she indicated that she will take me on judicial review. Any person who is investigated by the Public Protector and they are not happy with the decision, I mean, we've got the rule of law in this country. He's free or it's within her right to take the matter on judicial review. And remember, when it's on judicial review, we've got the independent judiciary who will also ventilate on the matter and decide further on it.
Now, you have recommended, in fact, said in your remedial action that the Western Cape legislature must within 30 days take appropriate action against the Premier. Now, in terms of your understanding of what the law provides, what options does the legislature have?
I mean, the legislature, they would act within their provisions or their processes. Because if it means that they need to be a hearing or if it means that they should write a letter of warning, I mean, I wouldn't indicate what actions they should take. But then the Western Cape Provincial Legislature needs to take an action which is going to be making sure that we don't have a repetition of such behavior. And this should be a lesson to any member of the executive who is holding a position of power, that they need to behave in a certain way. They are not expected to behave as if it is within their right to express their private opinions in public.
Now, you also reported today that the president wrote to you advising you that he had taken action against two former members of the executive, and we're talking here about Lynn Brown and Des van Rooyen. What action did the president take against those two?
The letter responding to the reports, the president indicated that the two members have been removed from their positions and that he will table the report with the National Assembly as it was requested in the report. Because as well, the remedial action was saying the president should be taking appropriate remedial action.
Now, you tabled your reports today, of course, only days after you were a subject of a great deal of talk in Parliament for being a no-show last week. And a few hours ago, the chief whip of the Democratic Alliance made it known that on Wednesday, Parliament's Justice and Correctional Services Committee will hear his request for an inquiry into your fitness to hold office.
Yes, I've heard they've written to me that I must come on Wednesday, the 13th, and I must indicate that the letter which I received on the 1st of June was requesting me to appear before Parliament to discuss the rules and the policy on appointing the special advisor. The matter at hand was never revealed in that particular matter, and again, unfortunately, I couldn't make it, Vuyo, and I respect the parliamentary processes. Hence, I've indicated that I've appeared 5 times up to so far, and I will be going on Wednesday to appear before Parliament, and again, for members of Parliament to discuss into my fitness to hold office. I don't need to be there because they can deliberate on their own as far as that is concerned. But I'm going there to present the rules and the policy which they've requested me to do.
But when you reflect on the past 20 months or so that you've been the public protector, why do you think a lot of people seem unimpressed with you?
Vuyo, I've done my part. A lot of people are impressed about me. There are those who are not impressed, but a number of them who I have, or with my office, we've resolved their complaints. They are very happy with the work I'm doing. And again, I've issued 50 reports to this day. And those reports have changed people's lives. And again, the bread and butter issues which we've resolved as an office have made a huge impact in people's lives. Unfortunately, Vuyo cannot be judged on only 2 reports, and those reports are before court. Again, the matter is still not yet finalized in court because it will still be heard in the Supreme Court of Appeal or even the Constitutional Court. So it's only on those 2 reports, and well, I've got nothing to say about those who are not happy about what I'm doing, but the grassroots is very much happy with the work which we are doing as an office.
Well, wittingly or not, you don't think you've given your detractors a great deal of ammunition, perhaps unintended, but when you reflect, you don't think you should take responsibility for some of the negative sentiment towards you?
Vuyo, that's why I'm saying to you, I have done my best in performing my duties according to what is required by the Constitution, and up to so far I've delivered what is expected. And again, those matters are before court, and it's for the court to decide on them. But then, as far as I'm concerned, I acted in a way which any public protector would have acted within the available resources, within the available legislative provisions.
Advocate Mkhwebane, thank you very much for talking to us this evening. She is, of course, our public protector.